This is a tutorial on Minitab, and I'll just be showing you the basic things you can do. Here's the main sheet, which has all your data entry, and there's different cells like in Excel. I'm just going to put in some random numbers here, and this is my pretend data. And I'm going to put it into two different columns, C1 and C2. And you just input the data just like you would Excel spreadsheet and put the numbers in. And you would break it up. Different trials would go in each column, and then when you go to input the data in for the different graphs and the different tests you can do, you would just choose C1, C2, C3. So here I put in data. Let me change this one. And there's obviously going to be outliers because it's just random numbers. But if you go into stat, you can choose different things. There's regression, ANOVA. We can choose the one-way ANOVA table. And you put in C1, C1 and C2 as the response. And here's what you get. You get a readout with the whole ANOVA table and all the different means and where they lie. We can see what else is in this data. We can delete rows. We can go into the calc and go into the calculator, and you can just do whatever kind of equations or what calculations you have to perform. You can go into the stat, and we can go into basic statistics and display descriptive, and this will just tell you the mean, it'll tell you the variance and all the standard deviations. So there's all the different standard deviations and means of all the different, and how many statistics are in each. We can do the scatter plot, and these are all the different plots and graphs, and here you would just put in the x and the y variable, and then you would choose scatter plot, and it'll show you exactly what the data comes out as. Obviously mine's going to be scattered all over the place, but there's that. If you want to go into other graphs, we have histograms, we have box plots. There's all different things you can do in Minitab, and here I'm just graphing. I'll just choose one variable and just graph it, and you can see the histogram of it, and there it is, or a bar chart, whatever you want to call it. We can go into the graphs and we can look at stem and leaf. There's also probability. There's so many different things you can do. And here's the stem and leaf. Simple. And lastly, I'll do a box plot. And I'll choose simple. And we'll do the C1, C2 this time. And here's the box plot. Now if you want to, those are outliers there, the little stars, that's what they indicate. If you want to change the title or the different axis titles, you just double click on it, and then it'll bring up a prompt, and you can choose the font, the style, the size, the alignment, and then you can actually change whatever it says. So we'll just change this to Christie's data. And then we can change the axis here, and we're going to label this axis school days. So once we change that, then I'll show you. You can also make little text boxes in this, and in these you can make a legend. You can make these all on these different tables and charts. And what else is there? These are all the little icons. You can click polygons, rectangle, make different shapes. There's all different things you can add. It's a degree symbol, but you can also hit the delete button right there, the X, and that'll take off whatever you just did. So also I just wanted to show you, we can go into the stat and tables, and look, I can do a chi-squared. You can do different tests in here, so there's so many different tests. I'll just choose C1. And actually, if you see up at the top, there's that thing called assistant. I'll show you that in a second. How about you can just do a probability distribution. There's a regular normal distribution, and that's how it should look. Obviously, ours will not look like that. But if you go into the assistant, here there's all different things that you just say what you want to do. So if you want to do hypothesis testing, and then it says, do you have 1 sample, 2 sample, 2. So you tell them what your objective is, and it'll tell you what test you want to perform, and it's really simple. Obviously I have no data here this time, so I can't show you, but that's exactly what you can do. You would choose what your alpha would be, and then choose what your parameters are in the testing. Obviously I don't have any data, so it won't let me do it, but that's all I had to show you. Thanks.